Welcome to Season 2, Episode 4 of Shop Talk with Jared Bailey of Jared Bailey Racing.
Come on in.
Alright, so Jared, thank you for allowing us to come up and tour your shop and check out what you got going on here at Jared Bailey Racing. First question I always ask everybody is, how did you get started in racing?
So, like a lot of people, my dad raced. So growing up, I guess when I was born, he quit racing, but way back when, in the 70s and stuff like that, he raced and he got back into it when I was about 5 or 6 years old. And then, later on, I started helping him more and more. And then when I got about a junior in high school, later on, going into senior year, we put a bomber together.
Gotcha.
Bought a bomber, and that's how it all went downhill from there.
Yep. So you started out in the bomber. How long did you run that bomber for?
Not very long, man. So my senior year in high school, Dad got sick. He got cancer, and so I ran it when he felt like going.
Right.
So not very much. I don't know an actual number. I would say probably somewhere around 10 times.
Gotcha.
And then when he started going downhill, of course, he never really told me what he was doing. Hindsight figured out. So he had bought a late model and bought a really nice one. And the next month found out he was sick. So he sold all his stuff. He went to Masterbuilt, bought a Masterbuilt modified for me. Bought a trailer, bought everything.
Gotcha.
Before he had passed. And got me everything I needed.
Gotcha.
And then we started modified racing after that.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And then, so you ran modified for a little while.
Mm-hmm. Long time.
How long did you run a modified before you transitioned into late models?
Oh shit. Let's see. So when I first started in the mods, Dad had already passed, so he never got to see me racing the mod stuff, which is actually really something to kind of go back on. Something really cool. The last ever race that my dad was able to go with was my first ever win in a bomber car.
I got you.
So he passed away 3 weeks later. So that's something really cool. And so anyways, we went into the mod stuff, and then I was by myself. I was just 18, going on 19, by myself. Dad's buddies, stepped up, and I had some guys, really step up and take care of me. But when I was racing, I was pretty much by myself. I had guys, go to the races with me just because Mom wanted them to.
Right.
And then after about a year of that, it was pretty much on my own for a little while. And so, man, I didn't race very much at all. Maybe 8 times a year. Just whatever I could come up with. Really, what we could do. And then later on, I got a good job at General Motors. Was able to work some overtime stuff, get some better equipment, stuff like that. And then my cousins, Robin and Trent Bailey, they came over one day and they just said, hey, we want to help. And then we started racing a little bit more. You know, we raced, I don't know, 15, 20 times a year probably. For a few years, good Lord, I don't know how many years it was. Probably from, and Trent's the statistician of the family. So probably like 2008 to 16, probably,
Gotcha.
in that range. We did it, yeah, probably maybe 2007, 2008.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So going from the modified over to the late model side of it, from your driver's perspective, how much has things progressed over the years from going from a modified? Because I know you still go back and run modified.
Yeah, so that was something, you know, I stepped out of the mods in like 16 or 17 and moved up to late models. And then, you know, 2020, I kind of got back into helping, you know, Kevin Fleetwood and Jared Fleetwood and raced a little bit for them and still do a little bit. So from that point, like, it was crazy how much the cars have gotten better.
Right.
Like, I had a really good race car. I had a Shaw by Jared Landers, and at the time, those were pretty much what I had.
Right.
And they drove well. Basically, you just tightened the piss out of them and overdrove them.
Right.
And so then we go back, and you're like, it's kind of like these. They're driving on the right front. You know, you're tractioning up, and you can over tighten, which everything else was kind of weird. So,
Right.
yeah, the cars have changed a lot.
A bunch.
A bunch, yeah.
Yeah. So, which would you rather drive? Like, if you just had to pick one to drive, which one would you rather drive?
Mods are fun, but the late models just have the speed. So probably when a late model is right, you can't beat them.
Right.
They're badass. You know, you just get out there and do shit you want to do like a kid and just
Right.
go at it and go. They can be just as frustrating. But yeah, mods are fun. I think because we put so much stress on ourselves in these late models.
Yeah.
So to go back in the mod and
Kind of just do it to have fun.
that was fun.
Where do you, what's your 2023 plans?
2023 plans. So right now, we've not really done much, like I was telling you earlier. Kind of got burnt out a little bit last year. We took some time off. This winter, just piddling around. But we're going to dig back in. Right now, not 100% sure if we'll be at Brownstown every single week. There's a couple of schedule conflicts with my daughter's dancing and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So that may contradict whether we run for points or just depends on how we're running, man. If we're running good, you know, I've got some awesome backing. Got some guys coming on board this year that's done very successful in the late model world.
Gotcha.
Gonna help. So who knows? Maybe if they get me going good when we are running well, might run more of a regional schedule.
Gotcha.
We'll just kind of see how it goes.
Gotcha. Biggest accomplishment in your racing career since you started? I know it's always hard to pick that one, but
It's hard to pick that one. Like I said, it's a small one. The bomber win was cool because it was Dad's last race
Gotcha.
ever with me. The first late model race I ever won at Brownstown was over some good cars.
yep.
And that one was pretty special because my brother had just died 3 weeks before and I was emotionally wrecked.
Right.
So that was a getaway for me to get in the car and completely forget of what was going on in real life and to be able to perform and win that race. That was pretty cool. So something like that, and another big accomplishment is I make it a family-based deal.
Gotcha.
My wife, my kids, my family, my cousins, you know, everybody. We make this a family-based deal, and I think that's a big accomplishment for us that we do this as a family.
Right. One thing I've noticed too is you help a lot of other people out. Tell me because a lot of times racers are in their shop working
Yeah,
their program.
for
How
sure.
did all that come about?
So, like I told you earlier, you know, I was 18 when Dad died. A lot of racers took me under their wing. Jeff Mounts, Dan Sturgeon, a lot of guys stepped up. Brad Irwin, I can go on and on.
Right.
There's a lot of good people that really stepped up. Mark Barber really stepped up to help me. So this is my way of paying it forward.
Gotcha.
I know how much help I got. You know, they just did what, you know, little things here, there, and yonder. You know, Jeff really took me under his wing. You know, I still consider him family and everything else. But Now I got like Jason Durham and these guys helping me. So I'm trying to pay it forward, trying to pay back to our sport to keep it going, because something that I've noticed, without I'm trying to dog anybody or nothing like that, in the late model world, you can get really greedy.
Yep.
Because you're trying to, these are expensive. The information, everything else, and you kind of can real easily step on people and knock people down.
Right.
And if you don't take care of people, we ain't gonna have sport.
Right. Exactly.
So I try to help people. I try to be a good person. I mean, really, that's all it comes down to.
As far as we'll do a fast five here in a minute, because I enjoy doing that with drivers.
Okay.
5 quick questions and stuff like that. But I kind of want to get more in depth with this, with you driving supers and kind of traveling a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's been your favorite track that you've been to besides Brownstown? Because Brownstown's kind of home. But
Yeah.
like, if you had to go somewhere that you've never been to, where would you go?
Oh shit. Right now, my list would probably.
And you can pick a couple too. It could be 2 or 3 tracks that you want to go to.
I really want to go to East Bay, but that ain't ever gonna happen because I think they're dead after next year.
Yeah.
So that ain't gonna happen. But East Bay would be definitely one of them. I don't know. Some of those Iowa tracks, they were the way they were.
Davenport, yeah.
And those places, that would be fun to go hit up. And I think those big tracks like Lernerville up in the east
Coast, yeah.
east up in
Yeah.
there, those big tracks with speed and sprint car track
Right.
stuff. That would be fun to hit one time. Yeah, if you could do it. I don't know that I could do it.
Right.
Watch those guys do it. That's a lot of speed, especially in these things.
It is.
But yeah, that'd be fun.
Gotcha. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do the fast five, because I
Okay.
enjoy it. So
Oh,
I'll ask you
boy.
5 questions. You can give one word answer, or if you want to explain your answer, then you're more than welcome to do that too.
Okay.
So, favorite racetrack food? Tenderloin. Favorite place you've ever raced?
It's got like 3 different names: Tri-City, Pontoon Beach, Granite City, that track over there.
Gotcha. Biggest race that you want to win?
It seems like too big of a bite, but a Lucas race at Brownstown.
Lucas Race Brownstown. If you weren't racing, if you didn't know anything about racing, never raced, what would be your go-to hobby?
Oh shit. I don't know that I've never known anything else. Probably hunting. Probably.
I'm with you on that one.
Probably.
I'm with you.
I don't do it so much now.
Right.
Yeah, because my
but if I
brother.
wasn't, when the racing season's over, that's the first thing I do. So
Yeah.
if I wasn't following races around, then I'd be hunting.
Yeah,
So,
I'd be wide open into that. And that's
Yeah.
why I don't do it, because I know
It's-
I would dig into it hardcore.
yeah, absolutely. If you had to go back to one race car, one class only, what class would you pick?
Oh shit. I don't know, man.
These are some hard ones.
They are. I don't know. The mods are in my heart. I don't know. Probably
Mod racing.
mods. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna walk around now, check out Jared's shop and see what all you got going on. We did discuss a little bit before the episode about what you had going on with your car. There's another car over here, and we have a special camera guy that's gonna be holding the GoPro, so we'll talk about his car too while we're in here, so
Okay.
stay with us. All right, so now we're gonna walk around, we're gonna check out Jared's shop, kind of what he's got going on as far as his race program, some other stuff that you work on besides your race program. So I'll let you take over, and then I'll follow you around, and we'll just talk about what all you got going on. So the car's not tore down yet.
Car's not tore down yet. No. So we're gonna dig into that probably right after you leave.
Okay.
I just didn't want to completely tore up, but I've been trying to enjoy the off season a little bit, which
Gotcha.
I never do. I've always been the guy that gets the shit done, before Christmas, and sit around and stomp and piss and moan at every race gets rained out till
There you
April.
go. Right.
I've always been that guy, but this year, kind of pushed everything back. We're gonna dig in on it. We're gonna tear the whole body off of it, do everything, redo everything. But yeah, so we'll get to doing that and have some fun, I guess.
Oh yeah. So as far as your program goes, sponsors, for every driver I've talked to, sponsors are a huge part of their program. Let's talk about some of the sponsors, since you still have the body on your car.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about some of your sponsors that you have, or people that's helping you
Sure.
for your program.
Absolutely. I'll just start on the front and work our way back.
That'll work.
So we got Karen's Vineyard Winery and also, Black Belt Racing. That's Kevin Fleetwood. We got together there during the COVID time. Got a lot of stuff going on there. Kevin's got some pretty cool plastic stuff going on. And helping Jared, try to get better with his racing and stuff like that. And we've gelled pretty well and we work together. Keep going. We got Jason Durham Motorsports. Jason has been Jonathan Davenport's crew chief since 2018 or whatever it is. That's why I have what I have.
Gotcha.
No doubt about it. He helps me tremendously, and very fortunate to have a guy like him behind me. Base Racing Fuel come on board with us last year. We saw Base Racing with Kevin. Through the Black Belt Racing. NFP with Scott Clippinger. Scott's big in the modified world.
Yep.
Everybody seems to know him, so I've had him for a few years now. Got a good friendship with him. As far as product sponsors, stuff we got: Poske's, Swift, Stack Materials, Willie's, Chase Cummings at Steele's Barbershop. Gotta love them haircuts.
Oh yeah, sure.
Winning Edge Carburetions, After Hours Paint Shop. Palms Tires. Todd Burns of SSI Motorsports. I've always, since I got into late models, he has helped me in some way, shape, or form.
Gotcha.
So one of those guys that will be on every car that I have,
Gotcha.
as far as I'm concerned, because I was able to step my program up because of him.
Gotcha.
So and keep moving on. We'll do Jay Coulter and Sons Trucking. A lot of people ask me who that is. It's Justin Coulter. He's from Canada.
Gotcha.
I met him through Jerry Landers and Kent Robinson, and we got a pretty good friendship now. He's bought him a Longhorn now. Andrew Rion drives it for him now.
I got you.
I've been helping them. I've done their shocks and stuff and springs and everything, and got him a couple wins there up in Canada last year, which is pretty cool. Of course, the Black Belt Racing, that's Kevin again, like I was saying. Fleetwood and Sons Lawn Care, Rock Fleetwood here in Bedford.
Yep.
Which I'll talk more about him in just a little bit. Bluebird Cafe, they're in, over there. My brain isn't working. But anyways.
Bologna.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bologna.
There you go.
It finally started working, and that's a lot of my cousin Jerry. He helps them out, and he helps me out a little bit, and that's what he wants in the car. So
if you've ever been to Bluebird Cafe, it's a cool vibe.
It's fun, yeah.
It's,
You'll see a whole door and quarter of mine all the way through the bar, so it's pretty cool. It's kind of fun to go down there.
Right.
Longhorn chassis, obviously. Coronet Racing engines, Travis Kern Racing engines. Let's see, I think
You got some on the other side?
we can keep rolling to the other side.
Yeah.
We'll keep going. Let's you got Printworks. My uncle Mike at Printworks does all my stuff for years. He's awesome. And TNT Underground Construction, Traven and those guys have come on board last year, coming back on board next year. So glad to have them and everything else. So I've got a lot of people that help me out in some way, shape, or form.
Definitely helps, don't it?
That it helps a ton. A lot of this stuff comes out of my own pocket. My car, my rig, and everything else, shop, everything. I work a ton of overtime in the winter, as your cameraman over there can tell you. I work about every weekend all winter long to pay for this shit.
Racing's got to work.
Yeah, we got to work a lot of hours. So, but when these sponsors come on board and help alleviate some of the costs, it's a big deal. Even like Jason, everything he gives me is at his deals.
Gotcha.
That's huge.
Every
So,
yeah, for sure. What else you got hanging around?
we got all kinds of stuff. You just point and we'll talk about it.
So, tire storage.
Tire storage.
You playing the same game everybody else is, I'm assuming, with the tire deal?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out with the tire changeover. This year we'll see how that goes. Jim's called me a couple times now.
Yeah.
And we've talked about tires, and then we're going to meet down in East Bay and talk with those guys
Yeah.
in here in a couple of weeks to see what they're thinking, because I'm hearing some stuff's a little softer than what they thought it was going to be, that kind of stuff. So we'll go from there.
Everybody that I visited, their shops and stuff, it's kind of like they're all in the same tire game.
Yeah.
They got tires laying around, but not sure yet what we're going to do and all that stuff. So, what's some of these body panels up here? Is that Who's 24?
That was my dad's car. So I told you when that's who got me going, right?
I got you.
So you see the Mounts brothers racing on that, Jeff and Duke Mounts. So that's Dad's car. That's the one I remember the most. That's the one I worked on the most.
Okay.
And the right side of it's all the way on the other end down there.
I got you.
So Matt Bax's, which is he's married to my cousin Julie.
Yep.
Isaac Rainey stuff, my cousin Trent stuff when he raced a couple years there.
Yep.
So that's my 124 car. When I was getting later on in the modifieds, I was getting burnt out.
Yeah.
I was trying to make some changes to I know that was just one of my ideas.
Gotcha.
Didn't work. I still burned out. But so then we went back to the 24 stuff for a couple of years, and then we made the change to late models.
I got you.
This car I told you. So this was off Dad's rocket car that he bought. This whole door and quarter panel here. That's the one he bought in September and found out he had cancer in October and never got to race it.
Gotcha.
So that's that car right there, and nobody's really ever seen that unless you've been around here.
Yeah.
So
A lot of sentimental value in that door.
exactly. So yeah.
Yep. So then you do all your own body work and
I'm working on it.
working on it.
Learning. I can make a door and a quarter and that kind of stuff, but I helped the modified I drove for Kevin Fleetwood, brought it in here after the Fun Fest race, and me and Braden put a whole body on that thing, deck, everything.
Yep.
So learning.
Definitely an art to that, ain't there?
Yes, sir, there is, and
Definitely art.
like I said, Phil Snelling, Tim McCready's old crew chief, he's coming up sometime here. We're gonna dig into this thing.
Got you. What's during race season, like what's a normal week look like for you in the shop, like as far as shop goes?
In the shop?
Yeah.
For me, Sundays I usually try to get at least unloaded, because by the time I get here at 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I try to get at least unloaded, if not washed on Sundays, or Mondays are usually wash days, and then Tuesdays is maintenance. Of course, I kind of like to do my own washing, that way I can see if there's anything going on.
Right.
Don't miss anything, stuff like that. And we do maintenance on Tuesdays, that way you can get parts ordered if something's
Exactly.
messed up or whatever, you can get it here in a couple of days.
Not wait till the last minute.
Not wait till the last minute and everything else, and then, later on in the week is tires and everything else, and, pulling the shocks off on the dyno and everything else, and just going through everything.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Let's go over and check out your shop. Bro.
Sure.
What you got going on with the shop?
So this is something, fairly new. I'm still learning
Gotcha.
a lot. That's part of why I'm going to East Bay here in a couple of weeks. Gonna spend some time with Nick down Penske, learn some stuff. But yeah, this is Kevin Fleetwood's dyno. Keep it here. I take care of all that kind of stuff. Go through shocks. So right now I'm kind of more of something that I've learned, and I've tried to instill this into people's brains because I learned it, and it took me a long time to learn it. Was shock maintenance is something we overlook in a big, big way. I've seen guys spend $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 on a set of shocks because they just needed an oil change in one of them, but they just thought they were junk. Well, you have this dyno, you throw them on there, and it says, hey, this is wrong. And I've learned, you get something in between those shims or whatever, and it'll just absolutely make your car do some crazy stuff. So if you get dirt packed in the right front, it goes through, all your seals and your wipers and everything, gets up into those shims, spread those shims. They say the width of eyelash, it'll mess it up.
No kidding.
And I've proved it. All I've done for a couple guys is, they were saying, my right front's junk, bring it to me. I did.
Let's look at it before you.
Yeah. And all I did was change the oil in it. Just change the oil out in it and it's fixed.
So I kind of want to hit on this a little bit since you do shocks and stuff. For the viewers that's watching, because we always talk about when you watch races on TV, whatever, we always talk about how important shocks are.
Mm-hmm.
How big has a shock game changed dirt late model racing?
Oh, everything.
Because even from the early mid '90s to now, it's like it's totally
everything.
different.
It's trickled down to the mods and everything also.
Gotcha.
We're stock cars, right?
Yeah.
So they've got these. You're in this you're in this circle of rules that you can only get out so far. I mean, everybody has their own tricks and everybody tries everything, but a lot of the setup stuff is all in shocks.
Gotcha.
Shocks and springs and smash numbers and load numbers, and that's the stuff you can manipulate legally.
Right.
And get into that. So yeah, it's crazy some of the stuff that they've come up with. It's crazy some of the stuff since I've done this, and learned some of the stuff that these guys have done and they've outlawed. Thank God, because some of the stuff, if they would have got, none of us would be racing.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, but yeah, it's been fun. I enjoy it. I spend too much damn time out here on this thing.
Now, are you offering this to a lot of people?
Like if anybody. So right now, what I'm kind of doing, because I'm still learning shocks the inside.
Gotcha.
I mean, I know how to take Penske's apart, and I'm learning how to take other brands apart and stuff like that. Just for maintenance, like I said, changing oils, stuff like that.
Okay, gotcha.
You're going through your seals, you're leaking, you're low on fluid, whatever, your nitrogen. Had a guy tell me this shock is junk, and he was literally just 25% low on his nitrogen.
It's crazy how it makes that big of a difference.
He thought it was junk, and he was actually putting it to the settings he was told.
Yeah.
Or he thought, anyways. We throw it on here, throw it up on there. You can see, how the cavitation in it. We just throw a little nitrogen to it and it's fixed, and he's happy. So,
wow.
And for when I do stuff like that, I charge people $20 to come throw their shit on the dyno.
Right.
And then that goes back to what I was saying. I'm just trying to help people.
Yeah. Kind of when what goes around comes around.
Exactly. Just like I said, paying it forward, trying to help some people out. Some people are stubborn. They think that I'm trying to steal their work. It's not like that at all.
Right.
Just trying to help anybody that wants help. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Well, let's go over and check. Braden's my camera guy today. Appreciate it, Braden.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, let's check out your car, Braden. Talk about it a little bit. We will be having a separate shop talk with Braden, but since Braden's car is here, we will discuss it a little bit. So, where are we at on this thing? Here. We're going to have a little bit of a different episode for Jared's shop talk, but since your car is in here, where are we at on your car?
Just going through it. We bought this back in October, and it's kind of rough around the edges a little bit. So we stripped it completely down, going through everything, putting everything brand new on it. So I'm excited.
Gotcha. But yeah, we will be doing a separate shop talk with Braden, his modified, once to get to that point. But I just want to talk about it since we were in here. So
for sure.
All right. Jared, you got anything else everybody in their shop has had that one thing that stood out. You have anything that stands out? As far as like
Other than the beer fridge?
yeah.
We got beer fridge.
Oh, we gotta go check it out.
We got beer fridge.
Every shop has to have a beer fridge.
Yeah.
Gotta have beer fridge. We gotta see what's in the fridge. What's in the fridge?
Not much. Right? Just pretty much beer.
Oh, Mick Ultra. You Mick Ultra guy?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mick Ultra.
No beer?
Yeah, I'll drink one.
There we go.
Mick Ultra.
We can keep going.
But look though, we gotta get this in here though, because this is, for anybody that's watching, 95 calories with 2.6 carbs. So I am on a diet.
Yes.
So I'm trying to watch my figures. So.
That's right.
Yeah, but anyway.
But yeah, so something that's pretty cool that I just acquired, going back to doors and stuff. So up here we've got JB's door.
Yep.
He gave me that one, the National 100.
Gotcha.
2 years ago up in Wisconsin. But McCready's door I think is pretty damn cool. So that's
what's the story behind? There's gotta be a good story behind it.
That's pretty cool. So, let's see. JD decided he wasn't going to come to the Jackson back in September.
Yep.
And Timmy got a hold of me, and Philip, his crew chief, got a hold of me. I said, hey, 49's not going to be there. Can we get that spot beside you? Because, I park.
Yeah.
So, I parked there. And I said, yeah. And when the races were over, I said, now you got to pay me for the spot. So he won the race.
You won the race.
Yeah, so I want the door. So he's like, all right. So they give me the door. And then also he signed the Lucas Oil event winner hat from the Jackson and the door off of that car, which is pretty cool.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, that's awesome.
Give it to me. So they've been, like I said, we've become friends with those guys. They're pretty awesome.
So with the hat hanging on there, I
Yes, sir.
assumed it was from a Lucas Oil man.
Yes, sir.
But it's even more cool because it's a Jackson 100.
Yep. He signed it. I actually wrote Jackson 100. I made a rookie year on it just to make sure. But yeah, he signed it and gave me the door and everything. And then you know, so, but, you know, up above there, so I told you, Dad quit racing.
Yep.
He came back in 89 or 90, so that door is off that car when he
Really?
first come back. Yep.
Gotcha.
So that was pretty cool.
That was awesome.
But yeah.
All right, so what else do you got? Anybody else that you, before we end the video,
Yep.
is there anybody else that you'd like to thank, or, like, I know that you got a lot going on here.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people to thank.
Yeah, so, something we'll start off with, you know, Kevin and this plastic stuff that he's working on. He's got these new shock canister mounts, which are pretty daggum cool, I think. So they got like right now he's just got them for the Bilsteins, I believe. And what they do is they clip on to an 1.5-inch tubing, and then you can put the shock canisters for late models and stuff in there and there. So that's something that's pretty daggum cool.
So how do you guys do it now, Jared? Does it just zip tie? You just, there's ties on there?
I've got, the biggest thing is, I've got these clamps on here, then by the time you put them on a car, it's $500 and some. It's
I
just
got you.
ridiculous.
So these just snap on there, then you just put your
Yes,
canister
sir.
inside that?
For all kinds of different ways, and you know, I've seen people zip tie them on.
I got
I've
you.
seen all kinds of stuff. So
That's a lot more secure way to do it.
yes, sir, and it's a nice way, and they're a nice piece, and he's got them going, and doing a good job, man. And they're super light. I was trying to remember, they're 1.3 ounces.
1.3
So
ounces.
super light.
When I picked this one up, I thought it was gonna be heavier than that.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing to it.
Yeah, they're super light, and
Nice.
he's got he's doing a little special offer right now. He's got some carbon fibers or some plastics, 55 or 45 piece. Just call him up.
What's I know that there's a blue one here and a black one. Is there color options for them?
I'm sure he can just
do
do whatever,
whatever.
but this is pretty new into the process. So
I got you.
right now he's just got a couple colors and going with that.
Got
And he's helped me quite a bit, and even at the racetrack with help and leading on to that. My guys helped me. I got like I said, Rock Fleetwood and Sons Lawn Care. He helped my dad back then.
Really?
So yeah, him and my dad were. So he comes. He just lives across the road now. He comes and helps, and then my cousin Rob, he comes to race, just helps tires and stuff like that. And then I got my buddy from work, Alabama, Mark Campbell's his name. Man, I really feel like when he come on board, he means he's a hard ass worker, really enjoys it.
Yep.
When he come on board, it made my program get better here 2 years ago.
Gotcha.
So between him and Rock, on this thing, I don't have to worry about anything. I promise you. The only thing I have to worry about is stuff being too tight.
Gotcha.
So I don't have to worry about it, and it's been pretty awesome and having that kind of help and stuff, and they take care of everything. Like I was saying with helping people earlier, a lot of people, I don't know that I've really told very many people this. So I go out of my way to get to Brownstown early.
Yeah.
I get to what I call the old Barnett parking spot.
Yep.
As much as I can.
Turn 3.
And there's a reason behind that most people don't know. So, super late models are normally first.
Right.
So I'm a big fan of these. I try to help people and everything else. Probably my favorite part of the entire week in racing and everything is when I get out of that car after that feature. I'm fortunate enough I have a little small toter. I run up there as fast as I can, take a quick shower,
Yep.
just get the nastiness off of me. And I grab 2 beers and I get on top of my hauler and I watch the races.
Yep.
All the pressures are over. It is what it is at that point of the week. You'll start again on Sunday. And that's my favorite part of the entire week. That's my decompression of work and everything until my wife tells me, I'll sit there and watch them all.
Right.
Until my wife tells me to get my ass home because the kids are being shits.
Right.
I'll sit right there and watch every one of them. I'll drink my 2 beers and head home. But that's probably my favorite part of the entire week when it comes to racing.
Especially people that you've helped that week.
Exactly.
Or whatever, see how they do
Yeah.
and that type of stuff. So.
And that's my favorite part of the week, and I really enjoy that. So that's a lot of people think, what they think,
Right.
I try to get that spot for whatever reason, but that is why. Is that 30 minutes, 45 minutes after the race is over?
Decompressing.
That's my decompression.
Yeah.
That's my whatever, my zen or whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it. That's what I really enjoy.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for allowing us to stop by, check
Yes,
out your
sir.
shop. Make sure you subscribe to the Flag to Flag Media YouTube channel. Hit that bell notification so you get notified about our latest content. And make sure you like this video because all the likes help us a ton. And until next time,
Yes, sir.
we'll see you down the road.